What's up, everyone? This is your DJ Brian Jew, and you're listening to The Driving on TBS efm. It is Tuesday, and you know, if the week's moving slow, you got Wednesday and Thursday left. That's not really brightening your day up, is it? Anyways, you know, that's what happens on Tuesdays, though. Monday's like that slow comeback from the weekend, and then Tuesday's like you anticipate a great day, but sometimes you guys have problems. Something that's stressing you out, relationships going bad, a ton of work. I know how you feel. Brian Jew's here for y'all. This is why we're here on The Driving, to make your day go smoothly. So, stick it here for another hour, and I'll make sure that all your stress is relieved and all your problems have gone away. And that's why I prepared the first song for the hour. It's a very inspirational musical about an orphan girl down on her luck. It's the musical Annie, and Annie learns to take things one day at a time by singing this song. And this song was requested by Bon Ron, so here's the original Broadway recording of the song, Tomorrow, from the musical Annie. Welcome back to The Driving with your go-to guy for the hour, Brian Jew, in the studio right now. And for all y'all who are curious on how to get in contact with us, here's the info. Call the studio at 02-778-1013 or send us a text at sharp 1013, but you will be charged $51 to your smartphones. Or simply send us an email at efmdriving@gmail.com or simply tweet us away at efmdriving. If you have a shout out, let us know. If you have any requests, let us know. But make sure the requests are from a film or a TV show. And feel free to contact us anytime, because we really appreciate all the support and the love that you guys send us. All right, now it's time for the scene of the day. Now, stated yesterday, because this week is Super Bowl week, we're going to be talking about all football movies. And today's football movie is actually a funny one. Yes, we have a comedy for y'all. And this is the movie Necessary Roughness. And this one might have flown under the radar because the basic plot is that the football program at Texas State University is in a little bit of trouble. And more than half the players are academically ineligible. And they're in danger of losing the program if they can't field a team this year, of course. And in Texas, what is a good university if there's no football team? And then one of the coaches has a bright idea that instead of playing different players on offense and defense, they'll have them play on all offense and defense. So all the players have to play both. Yeah, that's going to be tiring for y'all. Also known as Iron Man football. But there's a problem because nobody can play quarterback or kicker. So the coaches go to Paul Blake, who is a 34-year-old former high school student or high school star who became a farmer. Yes, he's a farmer. So he never pursued his football career, obviously, because he's a farmer. And Blake was played by Scott Bakula, who you might remember from the TV shows Quantum Leap. Yes, the TV show Quantum Leap. I used to love that show. He would leap from time to time and, you know, future, past, present. Anyway, so the 34-year-old freshman quarterback, he's a great quarterback, but they also need a kicker, which is a very difficult position to fill, of course. And one of the coaches has a bright idea of recruiting the captain of the women's soccer team, played by supermodel Kathy Ireland. Woohoo! Yes, we all know Kathy Ireland from the 90s. She was the it model. She was a hottie with a body in the 1990s. I remember her. Everybody did. She was in all the magazine covers. Well, other teams do not feel good about a woman, a girl, playing football, so they let her know on the field. So let's find out how she reacts. Yeah, so Lucy kicks a field goal, forcing a tie, but then she's tackled pretty hard. And the opposing player shouts, "Welcome to football," to her. And then she stands up and hits him where it counts, shouting, "Back on the foot, ball." Yes. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. She actually hit him in his precious place. Let's put it there. But I mean, dudes, we got protection on, so it's not going to really hurt that much. So obviously, I don't know. I've never been kicked there that hard with protection on, so you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into detail. Anyways, I'm not going to explain much because, you know, it's simple. You know what's going to happen to this dude. He's never going to have children again, obviously, because he was hitting his, it's precious. That's a totally different movie. Anyways, you should never underestimate a woman, no matter what her job is. If you think she's doing a man's job and she's going to fail because she's a woman, chances are she'll do it better than a dude will. So, guys, do not judge women. Respect women, because women do jobs better than men do sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's an equal opportunity out there. Men, women, we're all the same. Anyways, we're going to hear a song from the movie. And this one's a really old song, but it's still a great song. Here's George Strait with All My Exes Live in Texas. That was George Strait with All My Exes Live in Texas from the Necessary Roughness original soundtrack. Now, coming up on today's show, it is Tuesday, so that means Jason Beshevace will be joining me to talk about Korean films after intermission. So stay tuned for that. It'll be coming up shortly. But before that, we have another song request. And the next song comes from the 2010 film Letters to Juliet. And this is a romantic drama film starring Amanda Seyfried, Chris Egan, Vanessa Redgrave, Gail Garcia Bernal, and also Franco Neto. Yes. And Amanda Seyfried has really burst into the scene these days. Probably the place where most of you out there have seen her in this movie that's out right now. Great film, Les Miserables. And it's one of those great musicals that you need to go see if you haven't seen it. And she plays a character named Cosette in this musical film. And she was born in 1985, so that makes her about, 28 years old by now. So she's in the stage where she's not going to play teens anymore, and she's going to be getting more serious roles. So I'm really looking forward to all her, future endeavors and all her roles that she's going to be playing in films, because she's a great actress. She very versatile. She can actually play, comedic roles, serious roles. She can sing well. So I'm really looking forward to her in all her future projects. So the next song we're going to hear is from the movie that was requested from Kiyomi. And this is the song Love Story by Taylor Swift from the Letters to Juliet original soundtrack. Once again, that was Taylor Swift with Love Story from the Letters to Juliet original soundtrack. Now, the next request comes from Moselles for a song from the 2006 film Night at the Museum. I know you guys remember this film. This is the one that starred Ben Stiller as a night watchman at the museum, but at nighttime, all the exhibits come alive. So it's not a scary movie, it's more hilarious. It's a funny film. You guys should go see it. Especially younger kids who enjoy this movie. A lot of adventurous stuff in this film. And this song has also been featured in so many other films, including a French film called Les Intouchables, which means The Untouchables. So here's Earth, Wind, and Fire with September. Welcome back to The Drive, and now it's time for K-Film Tuesday with your go-to guy, Jason Beshevace. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Brian? How's the game?
Not too bad. Had a rough weekend with a huge, I guess more like an athletic competition thing going on. So my body's still in a sore state even on Tuesday. But how's your day?
Yeah, it's good. Busy, but all things are well. I hear you won that competition.
Yes, we won. Our team won the competition, not just me. So it wasn't just my thing. It was like a team effort, which was very interesting because I've never competed in an athletic competition after high school. This is my first time doing it after high school. So it was fun, exciting, nerve-wracking. I've learned a lot. I've hurt myself a lot, but it was fun.
So what did you get for winning? Or your team? What did your team get for winning?
Pride. We don't actually get a trophy or anything, but I guess it's more of a pride thing. So big ups to Team Sentinel 1 for winning at the Camp Humphreys throwdown this Saturday. Yes, I love my team members. They did a great job.
Well, congratulations. It sounds fantastic,
Thank you very much.
Winning anything is always gives you a sense of accomplishment, doesn't it? So.
It does. I just wish that we could have been throwing a little trophy here or some kind of envelope.
A token.
Yeah, with an envelope with a little cash inside. Exactly. Medals are great too. But right now we're not here to talk about my completion over Saturday's events, but Tuesdays means K-Film Tuesdays.
Yeah, K-Film Tuesdays. So today what I've brought in is a movie called The Unjust, or the Korean title is Budangore. And the reason I've chose this movie is because the director, Yoo Seung-won, his new movie, The Berlin File, comes out on Thursday.
Ooh, that looks like an interesting film.
Really interesting film, and I've seen that film too. So,
it comes out this Thursday, and you saw it already.
Yes.
I hate you. You never invite me for these things.
Well, no, I will invite you to these things. I have to.
There's a key word there, will. We don't know when, but he will. Hopefully.
But yes, the movie I'm going to talk about, like I said, is The Unjust, or Budangore. This movie was made in 2010, directed, like I say, by Yoo Seung-won. He's quite an established name here in Korea and overseas. He's made films like City of Violence, Out of Hand, Crying Fist. And he's established quite a good reputation for his action scenes. They're quite energetic and ambitious. But he's one of the best at what he does. This film was written by Park Eun-jong, One of the reasons I say this is because Yoo Sung-won often directs and writes his films, but he got a different writer in to write the script for this film. And this movie is actually Yoo's most successful and some would say most widely acclaimed film. So it's interesting that he brought in a new scriptwriter, and the scriptwriter has actually got a new film coming out next month called The New World or 신세계. And this got a massive cast: Choi Min-sik, Hwan Jung-min, Lee Jong-ae. So it's going to be really interesting movie when that comes out. Anyway, this movie, The Unjust, this stars Hwan Jung-min, Yoo Sung-bom, Yoo Hae-jin, and Chun Ho-jin. Most significantly, perhaps, is Hwan Jung-min. Hwan Jung-min is he's a big name here in Korea. He was in movies like Dancing Queen, A Good Lawyer's Wife, and also stars Yoo Sung-bom. Now, Yoo Sung-bom is Yoo Sung-won's brother. So, Yoo Sung-bom is actually in a lot of Yoo Sung-won's films. So, things like Araham, No Blood, No Tears.
He's also in Berlin.
Of course, yes. Anyway, this movie is about basically what happens is a serial killer targeting elementary school students is on the loose, and when the most probable suspect dies in custody and the case looks like it's reached a dead end, high-ranking police brass decides to create a killer, and anyone will do. Looking for professional redemption, Detective Choi Chol-gi makes a deal with a mob boss, Jang Sung-gu, who he has been investigating, and then together they decide to set up one of the existing suspects as a serial killer. The only hurdle in their plan is public prosecutor Yu Jang, who takes on the case. And when the secret deals and back alley agreements start to come to light, it only serves to drag them all into a very, very deep hole of questionable ethics and abuse of the law. So this film is very much about corruption, really. And that's what I really, really liked about it. It looks at the kind of relationship between the police and the prosecutors, which has been in the news, was in news last year, and also the corruption as well that often comes to light. And so it was quite an interesting film how Yoo Sung-won, or the writer, dramatized this kind of what I would argue is a social kind of critique going on. And so it's really interesting to look at the relationships between prosecutors and police officers, and then when you try and abuse the law, you kind of dig a hole for yourself, and so
you shouldn't be abusing the law anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what I liked about it is, it challenges when you think you're doing something in the greater good, but in fact it's not for the greater good at all. In fact, you're just digging a hole for yourself. So it's a very interesting film. In that sense, it's quite intellectual. It's more of a deeper thriller, and it's great that this director found the success. This film made around about 3 million admissions, and it was especially popular, like I say, amongst critics who have labelled it, as an intelligent crime thriller, which I think was a bit of a surprise. Yoo Sung-won's films are really, really great, but I didn't expect, when I watched this, I thought this was kind of a new level for him, and it also won a number of awards here in Korea.
Okay.
So it's definitely worth checking out. The director, like I said, household name. He's more renowned for his kind of his visual antics. So in terms of his use of action set pieces, although to be fair, there's not as many in this film, but he's great behind. He's a great director in terms of he knows how to utilize the skills around him in terms of the cinematographer. And stunt director and so on and so forth, and also love the way he captures Seoul as the city. He has I noticed that in one of his earlier films, Arahan, he has a great sense of Seoul and capturing the metropolis that Seoul is. So it's definitely worth checking out for that.
Okay, what kind of genre would you call this film?
Well, it's a thriller. It's a crime thriller.
Okay.
It's a crime thriller, but he often makes action films as well.
All right.
So there is a bit of action in here. Not to the extent of films like City of Violence or Arahan, but certainly it has its fair share of a bit of kind of, there's some fight sequences, and it keeps you engaged throughout. And you have to keep a track of the film. It is a little bit complex, so if you kind of lose focus, it might be a little bit difficult to follow. So definitely recommend kind of finding 2 hours where you can sit down and watch this properly rather than turning on and turning off. Otherwise, you just won't really be able to follow it.
Okay.
But yeah, it stars Yoo Sung-bom in this movie is absolutely fantastic. Yoo Sung-bom, like I say, is Yoo Sung-won's brother.
Yeah.
And he just plays this rather kind of eccentric, ambitious prosecutor. And some of the best scenes of the film star Yoo Sung-bom. And it also stars Hwan Jung-min, who's one of my favourite actors in Korea. I love some of his films, A Good Lawyer's Wife, Dancing Queen, and he's absolutely terrific here, where he plays this ambitious cop, desperate to get promoted and find some success, but he goes down the track of doing something that's not morally or ethically right to try and accomplish that. So,
alrighty,
his character is really, really interesting.
Cool. Well, then we're gonna have a song from another film that Yoo Sung-won actually did. This is not from the film that you brought with you today, but this is from the Arahan original soundtrack, and this is King Joe with Kung Fu. That was King Joe with Kung Fu from the Arahan original soundtrack. And now it's time to talk about a new film that's out in the K-film world.
Yeah, The Berlin File, directed by Yoo Sung-won. Yoo Sung-won directed, of course, The Unjust, the film I just I've been talking about. Mm-hmm. The Berlin File is arguably one of the most anticipated films of early 2013. The film was shot in Europe, including Berlin, and has a massive cast. It stars Han Seok-gyu, who some will recognise from the film Shiri, Ha Jong-woo, or Jun Jian, and Yoo Sung-bom. So massive cast, right? Huge cast. And in terms of the plot, it basically follows a North Korean agent who's forced to flee an illegal arms deal that takes place in Berlin, which is being observed by a number of agents, including a South Korean intelligence operative, who then pursues him. And then meanwhile, a ruthless North Korean agent named Young-soo then seeks to investigate the loyalties of those involved and attempts to implicate the North Korean agent's wife. And then he's then torn between his wife and his country and sets out to seek the truth. So it's a little bit of basically it's a very, very convoluted plot. It's quite difficult to follow it. But like, in terms of his action sequences, again, Yoo Sung-won, he's the best man out there. The film is visually very, very entertaining and explosive, yeah, it's a very compelling and gripping film, and I think it'll make a lot of money. It's interesting that Yoo Sung-won actually wrote the script for this film, and I'm not sure he's the best storyteller, to be honest, because I think one of the reasons The Unjust works so well is because he actually hired someone else to write. Well, whoever the studio that made the film hired someone else to write the script. So it was very interesting that he thought, okay, well, I'll write the script for this movie, and I just didn't think that the script was particularly great. But the film does look fantastic, and it's generally well acted, and they all many of the actors actually have to speak English, so it's quite demanding roles for them. Han Seok-gyu, Ha Jong-woo, and Yoo Sung-bom all speak sizable chunks in English, and then Jun Jian has to speak in North Korean dialect, so yeah, it's quite...
That's got to be hard. North Korean dialect is not easy.
It's not easy, and it was very difficult for me to try and understand. I was like, whoa, this is hard. So I had to really listen intently. And Yoo Sung-bom is just, again, absolutely fantastic. He tends to act over the top sometimes, but it works really, really well, because he plays this kind of very ruthless kind of North Korean agent set out to implicate those involved. Yeah, he's quite ruthless and... not very nice. But I think the film will do very well. It's visually very enthralling, and also there's a lot of interest overseas with this film as well. It was kind of labelled as the Korean version of the Bourne series.
Oh.
Because, shot in Europe and looking at a number of spies. But there's one scene at the end that reminded me of the Bourne series, but generally, as a whole, it wasn't a rip-off, and I was a bit worried it would be. If anything, it's more like the 1999 movie, Shiri, that Han Seok-gyu is interestingly in as well. So Han Seok-gyu played an agent in Shiri back in 1999, and now he's playing another South Korean agent in this movie, The Berlin File, 2012, which is, 13 years later, so... And I actually don't think he's aged that much, to be honest.
2013. This movie's coming out this week. So
yeah, 2013.
You said 12.
Oh, sorry.
You're still back in time.
I'm still back in time.
Yes.
But yeah, 13 years.
That's cool.
14 years later. Wow.
Because that's 12 years later. Oh, 1989, 13, 14. I can't
It'd be 14 years later, yeah.
Wow. I want to compare the image of his...
Well, no, it's interesting because I don't think he's aged that much. I think he's aged a little bit, but considering 14 years is...
I call that the Korean celebrity juice. I don't know what it is, but a lot of Korean celebrities look so young for their age. Like me, I'm 14, but I'm actually not.
I knew you were going to throw something in there. Yeah, so it was really interesting to see him. And Jun as well hasn't aged that much either.
Jun's gorgeous, though.
Well, she is. Yes. And it's interesting, she plays a very kind of rather subdued character for her. You know, she often plays these very, I wouldn't say aggressive, but certainly lively characters. And in this role, she plays a very, like I say, subdued character. So I think in many ways it was a smart move because she's looking to mature as an actress, and The Thieves was very successful, and everyone said that was a perfectly well cast movie for her. And now she's moved on now to Berlin, which is again another more kind of mature role for her. So she's quite quiet in this film, but I think it was quite a smart move because she's getting older and she needs to.
But if she looks young, she can play the part. I say keep doing it if you can.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, you guys.
But it's out in cinemas on Thursday, so
right now.
Check it out.
So definitely see it, because Jason, you did say you saw it.
I've
said
seen
it was a good film.
It's entertaining.
Yes.
It's not my best film I've seen, but yeah, it'll certainly entertain you.
Well, you heard Jason's opinion on the film. For those of you who like films like this, please go out and see it. Chun Ji-hyun's in it. You gotta go see it. Roo Seung-bum's in it. All you girls out there who love Roo Seung-bum, he's in it. So you gotta go check
as well, and Han Seok-kyu.
These are great, great actors. It's a great cast. So go see this film when you can. So right now we're gonna play a song, not from the film, but another film that Han Seok-kyu was in, and we talked about it earlier. It's from the 1999 film Shiri. And this is Carol Kidd with the song When I Dream. I'm gonna say bye to Jason for now. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, Brian.
Once again, that was Carol Kidd with When I Dream from the Shitty original soundtrack. And unfortunately, right now, it's time to wrap up the show, so stick around because 1013 Main Street with An Jung-hyun is next. And we'll end today's show with a song request by Jay from the 2000 film called Billy Elliot. And you guys know about this musical already. It's about a dude doing ballet, and his brother and dad are questioning him about his masculinity. But the thing is, it's very masculine to do ballet. It is. So stop hating and participating, y'all. Learn some ballet. It's for dudes. Anyways, this is Brian Ju signing off, and we're going to play the song from the movie, and this is T-Rex with Cosmic Dancer. I'll see you guys tomorrow.